In the second quarter when we return.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everyone, to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Some big-time action already in this one. I'm Ernie Johnson, along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. A competitive matchup for Atlanta in the first quarter. They never dug too deep a hole for themselves in the first period. The most they trailed by was 5. They had a slight edge on the scoreboard in the second quarter, but only by the slimmest of margins. Kenny, what was your take on Atlanta?
Well, they're putting bodies on people. If you just look at the rebounding numbers, you can tell that they've been putting their body on and being more physical than the other team. Now, that fact looms large on both sides, and that's going to be the difference in the second half.
Shaq, let's get your insight on Charlotte.
The thing I like is their aggressive approach and getting to the line. You know, when things seem to stagnate on offense, it's sometimes a matter of forcing your will. This team can generate a lot of points and also dictate the pace of the game if they play with that aggressiveness.
And that'll do it for our halftime report. Stay tuned for the second half, about to get underway.
We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. Wraps it up for Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening. Second quarter will be on the way when we come back.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Good to have you back. Ernie Johnson with Kenny the Jet Smith and the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. For the Knicks, the first quarter was pretty even. At the end of the period, they held a 3-point lead. They were outscored by just a bit in the second quarter as they go into the break now holding just a 1-point advantage. Taking a look at the Knicks, Kenny, what'd you think?
Well, they were consistent from downtown. The playmakers found open shooters, and the shooters delivered and knocked down shots on a high level. In some ways, it came down to confidence. We'll see if they have that same swagger in the second half.
And over to Shaq. What did you think about Philadelphia?
I really like how they limited turnovers. You know, they didn't play it too safe. They made some really nice passes. When you can play like this and cut back turnovers, it can add up to over 10, 8, 12, 15, 16 easy points, Ernie. I don't know how many points, a lot of easy points. They'll be in good shape if they can keep making the same smart plays.
That's all for now. Say goodbye to the folks. Thanks
Goodbye,
for
folks.
joining us. Third quarter, just about ready to begin.
Wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Well, that's what a great pass will do, right? You love the unselfish play.
That's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. So long. The points coming right at the rim. We've got more in store for you right after this.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings, friends and neighbors. One half down, another half to go. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. From the get-go, it was Utah that came out strong. They showed great chemistry, going on a quick 10-3 run to open up the game. They gave a little of their initial cushion back, but still ended the first quarter with a 7-point lead. In the second period, they lost some momentum, but fought their way through it, ending the half ahead by 2. And, Kenny, what'd you see out there from the Jazz?
You can see where the priorities are. Rebounding, and then more rebounding. They made a concerted effort to get the glass cleaned.
And over to Shaq. What do you think about Brooklyn?
Well, if you can't shoot the ball, you might want to stop chucking it up. They keep trying the three, but it's not going down. They're relying too much on the three ball. Way too much. It's good when it's falling for you, but when it's not, you have to try something else.
And that should do it. With the second half about to begin, let's send you back to Kevin Harlan. Go back to Kevin Harlan. Go. Just go over there.
And we'll be back with you shortly. Wraps it up for David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and Steve Smith, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you later. Quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. And don't go away. We'll be right back.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, folks. Welcome back. This is Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal at 2K Sports. Let's talk first half. James Harden was the man in the first. He had 20 points, 5 assists, and 1 steal. Kenny, what'd you think about the Rockets?
Well, the bench came in and helped them run away with this one. Tremendous job of getting loose, getting open, and drilling shots. You always want that spark off the bench, and these guys delivered.
And, Shaq, what did you see from Dallas?
Way too soft in the paint defensively. They were all late on their rotations. Obviously, that's a recipe for getting cooked. And, you know, I like eating that barbecue chicken. They got to do better, Ernie.
That's all for now. Say goodbye to the folks. Thanks
Goodbye,
for
folks.
joining us. Third quarter, just about ready to begin.
Time to build this healthy lead. Right back after this break.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Well, it's also called making a good read, understanding
That's
where
going to do it for
everyone
now.
is.
For Greg Anthony, Chris Webber, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long.
Stick with what's working until somebody shuts you down.
And so it's the Milwaukee Bucks with an 18-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. They've kept the tempo quick and the defense on its heels, and it's gotten them up big. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, Hoop fans. NBA halftime show on 2K Sports. EJ, Shaq, Jet. A nice show being put on tonight by Chris Middleton. He had 13 points and 1 assist. Kenny, your thoughts on the Bucks' first half?
Well, this team is definitely learning how to use Chris Middleton. His length, and he's a matchup nightmare. He has incredible smoothness to his game, and he's very unselfish. And he's lights out from 3.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Chicago?
Well, they gave up too many good looks. You look at the field goal percentage against them, this tells the whole story. Not enough activity defensively, not enough disruption, Ernie. Like Kenny disrupts me all the time, not enough disruption.
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take you down to Kevin Harlan.
Shout out to my man Joel.
Joel, what up?
That quarter had to take a lot out of him. He racked up 12 points. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here.
The winner today, the big fella here with the sweetest of dimes. What a plus it is to have a post player who's got this ability to find.
You know, anytime a guy's in the post and the teammates know he's unselfish.
For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. And we'll see you next time.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Good to have you back. Ernie Johnson with Kenny the Jet Smith and the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. DeMar DeRozan putting in some serious work for the team tonight. He had 16 points, 2 assists, and 1 rebound. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on how San Antonio played?
In simple truth, they just got hot. Didn't matter what the defense was doing, Ernie. They were definitely able to rise above it. Even the tough shots. Did you see that one shot? I don't know how they even went down. They can carry this over to the second half. It's going to be hard to beat them, boy. Woo-wee.
Kenny, let's get your insight on the Timberwolves.
Well, I think they could be way more physical than they have been in the first half. Their defense gave up way too many easy looks, and that kind of defense will turn to a loss any night.
And that's going to do it for us here. The second half of action is coming your way.
But the third quarter, it's been a good one. Spurs lead by 4. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports.
Play right here. Set up his teammate. And how about the setup this was?
Boy, GA, how about the secondary playmaking you are getting? Great to have that from the shooting guard spot.
And our Jordan player of the game, Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah, and his performance has been a jaw-dropper. He must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
This is as good a game as we've seen him play, and this crowd can't get enough of it. When he explodes like this, it becomes a special atmosphere in here. Folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Good to have you back. Ernie Johnson with Kenny the Jet Smith and the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome to the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. After the first 2 quarters of play, it's Washington in control. They lead by 11. Shaq, what was your takeaway on Washington?
The three-point shot was their best friend. I agree with the strategy. When it's working, take advantage of it. I don't really like it. Live by the jumper, die by the jumper. But tonight, they're living, and they're living good, baby.
And, Kenny, what'd you see from New Orleans?
Well, I think their problem is rebounding, Ernie. You know, when you're trying to come back in a game, every possession counts because each possession can turn into points, and you need to cut that deficit quickly.
And that does it for our halftime show. We now take you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the third period.
And has that terrific basketball instinct on display. Back right after this.
Slice the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Yeah, that's just a brilliant read of the defense. I mean, it was also excellent anticipation of the movement
For Greg
of his
Anthony,
team.
Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you next time.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back to you, I guess.
And you.
Not you.
Not him?
You.
Oh, her for sure.
Them.
Yes.
This is Ernie Johnson. That's Kenny, that's Shaq. You're watching the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. An outstanding first quarter for Paul George. He had 18 points, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
Well, how about their ball movement? That was a true definition of team basketball. All 5 guys moving, all guys rotating, everyone touching the ball, a bunch of assists, tons of easy baskets. It gives everyone on the floor confidence when you're playing like that.
Looking at Cleveland, Shaq, your thoughts?
Not pretty to watch how they get torched in the low post, Ernie. When they were playing defense in the post, you know me, Ernie. Barbecue chicken alert, barbecue chicken alert. This team is going to have to up the pressure, play more physical in the second half, start a fight, throw some bowls, let's go.
And that'll do it for our halftime report. Stay tuned for the second half, about to get underway.
Team 2K Sports back in a moment here in Oklahoma City.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
We call that, Greg, putting it right in the pocket, and he's just so good you can't help it.
And we get out of our seats, don't we? I mean, just like the players do. We get out of our seats.
Oh, no doubt. I'll stand up, wave my hands in the air. Are you kidding?
That'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. From Portland, we're back in a moment.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, Hoop fans. NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. EJ, Shaq, Jet. Leading the way at the start, it was Damian Lillard. He ended up with 15 points, 2 steals, and 7 assists. Shaq, how do you think the Trailblazers were playing?
Well, I like it, Ernie, because they're just not settling for outside shots. You know, that part of the game is pretty when it's going in. We've seen plenty of teams try that and fail. You got to have a balanced approach. And tonight, they found a ton of success inside. Basketball and championships are won inside out. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about.
And over to Kenny. How about what you saw from the Magic?
They need to break it down. And I look at the individual areas that they're struggling, like they're getting pounded. I mean pounded, Ernie, on the boards. That's a hustle stat.
And that'll do it for our halftime report. Stay tuned for the second half, about to get underway.
And they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. And we'll be right back after this.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter form.
Well, there's a way to break down the defense with the handle, but you can do it with the pass. Prime example of that right there.
Now. For Brent Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, folks, welcome back. Ernie Johnson alongside the Jet. That's Kenny Smith. The Diesel, that's Shaquille O'Neal. A lot of big-time action so far in this one. The first quarter didn't play out the way the Clippers had hoped. They were on their heels immediately, at one point staring at a 12-point deficit in that opening period. They came out in the second quarter with a lot more energy and with some nice offensive stretches and were able to even things up before the half. And taking a look at the Clippers, Kenny, what did you see out there?
Well, there was a big spark from the bench in the first half. Sometimes you're hoping for your reserves to come in and just hold court, but they didn't do that. They actually got better.
Shaq, what'd you think about Phoenix?
Well, they faced an all-out aerial assault, bombs everywhere. But they're still in position to win this game. But they were bombed from deep all half long, Ernie. They need to revamp the perimeter approach on defense. They don't need to take everything away, but they got to make it harder.
Thanks for joining us, folks. We're now just a few minutes away from the start of the third quarter.
Fourth quarter gets underway.
Yeah, a terrific, unselfish play right here. Set up his teammate, and how about the setup this was?
What an advantage if your off guard can make plays so valuable.
Present our Jordan Player of the Game, Montrezl Harrell.
And he's just been crushing it from the field tonight, Kevin. Whether it's been on open looks or with the guy draped all over him, he just hadn't missed much. With his percentage in the sky-high range, they've had no choice but to make him their #1.
For Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.